Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto Naruto Next Generations discussion on the fallout from Boruto chapter 73. And today I want to discuss a potentially heartbreaking scenario that we as fans are not prepared for, especially if you're a huge Sasuke fan like me, which is Sasuke Uchiha falling in battle against his own student, Boruto Uzumaki, i.e. the son of Sasuke's rival Naruto. As hard as this is to do, if we take the emotion out of it, there's plenty of a pretty sound argument that can be made for Sasuke being killed by Boruto, though it's one that we as fans probably don't want to hear, given that Sasuke is one of the OGs from the original Naruto franchise, and he's to this day one of the most popular characters in Boruto, to the point where with Japanese fans, he's even more popular than Boruto in Boruto's own manga. However, the death flags are the death flags, and we're going to look at what the impact of Sasuke's death would be on the story, in particular if Sasuke were to be killed by Boruto. From the moment we first saw Boruto in the flash forward sequence and he's fighting against Kawaki, one of the first things that fans picked up on was the fact that Boruto appeared to be in possession of Sasuke's sword, Sasuke's headband, and Sasuke's cloak. The headband made perfect sense though, given Sasuke gave Boruto the headband the last time we saw him during the events of Naruto Boruto the movie in 2015, so that wasn't a shock to anybody. But when Boruto's character design sheet came out in 2017 after the anime's first episode dropped, and it confirmed that the sword and cloak also belonged to Sasuke, we all saw the damage done to the village, which appeared to look as if a nuclear bomb went off inside of the village, which led to questions about Sasuke's well-being beginning to pop up among fans. Since then, we've seen Sasuke with numerous close calls, from getting bullied by Jigen to getting turned into a surfboard by Ishiki to Momoshiki playing hide the kunai with Sasuke's rinnegan, and now Sasuke has declared the next person who will have to show his resolve to protect the village. It's going to have to be Sasuke himself, with the context being that he learned that Boruto willingly gave up his life in order to protect the village. With Sasuke being the last full-blooded Uchiha left, the idea that the current lord of the Uchiha clan and the man who currently has the title of being the Shadow Hokage, the idea of him dying doesn't sit well. However, the good thing about a title like Shadow Hokage is that you can easily replace it as easily as you can get the title Lord or Lady by going to Established Titles, which is the sponsor of today's video. Established Titles is a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping with global reforestation efforts. It's a project based in historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds, or lords and ladies in English. With Established Titles, you get at least 1 square foot of dedicated land on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland, and an official certificate with the crest, which has a unique plot number to show you your land. Established Titles plants a tree with every order they receive and work with charities like One Tree Planet and Trees for the Future to support global reforestation efforts. Just as Naruto gets to call himself Lord Hokage, you can officially call yourself Lord or Lady, which now that I have this certificate calling me a Lord, it's going to be on my desk, and everybody who comes to my office has to call me the Lord. And you can get it on your credit card or your plane tickets, or you sussy bakas can even use it on your dating profiles. If you go for the romantic route, you can also purchase the couples pack, which comes with adjoining plots of land. The first 200 people purchasing the title pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot, within a few minutes of walking distance from it. Depending on how many of you guys want to become a lord or a lady, we can build our own little Naruto Explained kingdom. My late grandmother, who just passed away, not only loved flowers but also trees as well, so I'm gonna purchase one to honor my late grandmother. It makes an amazing last minute gift. Established Titles is actually running an early Black Friday sale, plus if you use the promo code EXPLAIN, you get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/explain to get your gift and help support the channel. Thank you again to Established Titles for sponsoring today's video. So here's the thing, let's assume that Sasuke does end up witnessing Momoshiki take full possession of Boruto, with Momoshiki being able to use Boruto's body when it's higher on chakra due to Boruto not being chakra exhausted like all the other times. This is a game changer because it means that this Momoshiki will be stronger than the one who fought EMS Sasuke after the Ishiki battle. That's going to make this Momoshiki even deadlier than the one who Sasuke previously fought, and by extension, it makes him even more dangerous because Momoshiki will know that seeing Boruto's face will cause Sasuke to pause, and that's all it's going to take. And it wouldn't be the first time either, because And this wouldn't be the first time either that someone has done something underhanded to use emotion against their enemy. Zabuza shot his shot with Kakashi after Haku died, and Kabuto notoriously tried to use emotion via the Edo Tensei by allowing them to retain their personalities in a lot of those cases because it would weaken the mental mind state of the Shinobi Alliance that they are fighting against before Kabuto forced them to start killing their friends. Momoshiki knows what Sasuke can do when fighting seriously. The handicap match where he fought against Naruto and Sasuke, where they retained their tag team titles against fused Momoshiki, is probably still fresh in his mind because Naruto and Sasuke put that work on him. However, the fight after the rinnegan was destroyed saw Sasuke hesitating, and we learned afterwards that Sasuke was unable to fight at his full power because of the mental nerf that he suffered, which is an indication that the spiritual side of his chakra was being affected, similar to how Minato, when he learned that Obito was the masked man who attacked him 17 years ago in the timeline, Minato's stats dropped tremendously. A similar thing happened with Sasuke. Momoshiki will look to take advantage of that. However, this is where things get a lot more interesting and a lot more heartbreaking. If Sasuke tags along for that mission due to wanting to keep an eye on Boruto, this means that any fights that take place will have Sasuke versus Boruto taking place while Team 7 is watching, which is important as we look back at the foreshadowing. Remember when Sasuke learned that Kawaki was the one who killed Boruto? Remember his reaction? Sasuke made a point to state that when Momoshiki went on his rampage, the only person who should have had to deal with Boruto was Sasuke, not Naruto, not Kawaki, Sasuke. He took it as his personal responsibility to handle Boruto if things ever got to that point again, and based off of the anime, we know that he vowed to never freeze up if that ever happened because it was the only humane option for Boruto, for him to die at the hands of his teacher before Boruto was forced to do any harm to anyone he cared about, which in that case it almost resulted in Boruto potentially killing his father due to Naruto being unable to strike down his son and having that mental nerf in the process. Had Sasuke actually been there holding Shikamaru hostage, it wouldn't have mattered because Sasuke isn't going to be as soft-hearted as Naruto, especially once Shikamaru told him not to worry about him, because Sasuke can black out his heart when push comes to shove. He made a vow to Boruto that if Momoshiki took control, that he would stop him. If Sasuke were to see Momoshiki this far in control of Boruto because Boruto mentally broke down, Sasuke would step in and fight Momoshiki because he knows for as much as Boruto suffered, he'd suffer even more if he was forced to kill the people that he loved. Sasuke would stop Boruto before he killed Hinata and Naruto, before he killed Himawari while she ran away from her big brother holding her Kurama and Shikaku dolls. Sasuke would try to spare Boruto of that pain, and Sasuke would have the authority enough to make Kawaki stand down if push came to shove, telling him that this time he'll be the one that handles Boruto. Narratively, it sets conflict with Team 7 because they'll learn Kawaki killed Boruto due to Momoshiki taking over once Sasuke says this. It also has Sasuke fighting Boruto in a manner where if he does fall, it feels true to his character, dying to protect the village, dying to protect his daughter from harm, and trying to release his student from Momoshiki's control. If this is paneled correctly, and this is the big thing, this is why Kurama's death in the manga sucked. If this is paneled correctly with flashbacks showing Sasuke first meeting Boruto, training Boruto, speaking to Boruto about his promise to stop him if things got out of hand, this could work. It would hit all the emotional cues that you need, especially if in the backdrop of this, you have Kawaki and Team 7 potentially battling those 10-tailed soldiers or battling Code himself, or you have Sarada forced to watch all this. As long as the emotional buildup is there and we see Sasuke throw it all on the line in a fight, using Chidori and Amaterasu, using tactics to try and bring down Momoshiki and ultimately fall, I think this can work brilliantly. Kurama's death in the anime was done correctly, and it kind of proved that as long as there's a build-up and you actually master the art of timing and you don't rush to the impact scenes, but instead you let the scenes breathe a little bit in order to get to that moment where the execution can be handled well, it creates a well-smirched situation where fans begin to bargain with the story itself, asking what if this was changed and looking for alternate scenarios where things could have come out differently, which means the author managed to trigger a sense of loss and grief in fans, which is a testament to how well they wrote the story of the character that was being killed off. Having Sarada there to witness Sasuke's death, it triggers the Mangekyou Sharingan awakening. Having Momoshiki kill Sasuke and Sasuke's death be what breaks Boruto free of Momoshiki's control because of the despair that he felt, ended up giving Momoshiki control. It's now replaced by Boruto's own self-anger and grief. That should be enough to break him free of Momoshiki's mental shackles. Sasuke's death in this case, it wouldn't be for nothing. It would stand for something, and it would actually make Momoshiki taking over Boruto's body feel like there are real stakes to the story. Right now, when Momoshiki takes over, if we're being honest, it feels less like a dreaded what's going to happen next scenario, and it feels more like you're watching a misbehaving dog tear up the couch pillows in your house and peeing on your rug because they haven't been house trained properly. Yes, Momoshiki stabbed Sasuke's rinnegan. That was a huge moment, but outside of that, there hasn't been any real fear instilled in the readers towards Momoshiki, but this is something that would do it. This makes readers realize that Momoshiki hijacking Boruto can go sideways at any moment. Similar to how Sukuna and the War Devil hijacked their human host consciousness in Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man respectively. Each time it happens, there's a sense of foreboding and a sense of dread as you wonder what happens next. You see the fallout of Sasuke's death and how it affects Naruto's Hokage, since both he and Sasuke feel responsibility over Boruto having the Karma Seal. You see the fallout from Sarada and Sakura in terms of their emotional reaction. Most importantly, you potentially see the older generation and even those from Naruto's generation who have not forgiven Sasuke, which I've discussed ad nauseum in videos on why this is the case, from Sasuke still being on probation in the Boruto era to older Jonin talking crazy to Sasuke in the Boruto manga. This forces those people to acknowledge Sasuke. He might have made some mistakes, but he's lived and died as someone who put the village first, especially after he was redeemed. I really think it builds on the master and student clashes and that whole theme from Naruto's manga, while also setting up the Kawaki versus Naruto moment that we see later on down the line. Whereas Sasuke might die at Boruto's hands, Naruto gets sealed away by Kawaki, and in both cases, it's a master struggling to overcome the mental block, like we saw with Hiruzen and Minato. However, where would you rank Sasuke's death in terms of all Naruto deaths, and how would you handle it if you were the one writing that story? While you think that over, click here to watch my Black Clover chapter review, or click here for this Naruto Explained video.